Hey guys, today I'm going to do a fibro video. I have started getting, with the more subscribers I get, more requests for videos. So if you ever have a request for a video, just leave it for me in the comments. I read all my comments. I try to answer them all, and I will get to those videos. I literally write everything down and I go through them, check them off the list, film them, edit them, get them up, and then I work on the next one. So if you have requested video from me, I did not forget. I've gotten requests on Instagram for a makeup one. Just want to put out there that I have written down every request I have gotten so far, and I am working on filming them. It is a little more difficult when you're a daily vlogger and you make sit down videos, so just bear with me. It might take me a month or so to get to it, but you will get your video, I promise you. But today the video is going to focus on fibro and cleaning. Somebody asked me how I keep my house so clean with fibro. Let me tell you, the very first thing is that I don't work. When I worked, I want you guys to know, I'm going to be completely honest, while I was good about picking stuff up because I've always been very OCD, I can't stand stuff sitting around. No matter how much pain I am in, I will get up and like clean it or do what I have to do. I don't like messes. And everybody is different, and I go over to some of my friends' house and there's stuff everywhere, and I'm not judging them for it. That's just my personal anal preference. Oh my God, that sounds bad. That's just my personal preference, how I am most comfortable in my home and with my surroundings. So the number one thing I did, if you do still work, when I worked, was every night before bed, before we sat down and watched TV, right after dinner, dishes done, pick up the house. And my husband was a huge help with that, and he still is when my fibro is bad. Like, he is an amazing, like, man. He helps me out. He does things without me being like, hey, I don't feel well, will you do this? He just does them, and he's great. And I think he makes my life so much easier, and I know not everyone has that, but I do want to give him that credit. So we would kind of, as a team, pick up the house, and then we would watch TV, or we would do it after. But usually it's like you want to do it before, because then once you get comfortable, that's when I would relax and get ready for bed. Somebody asked for a bedtime routine. That video is coming. I want to get very creative with that. So that's going to take a little help on the filming, but I want to make it fun and creative, and so that video is going to take me a little longer, but it is coming out how I get ready for bed. But that is just a little pre-thing to that video. My house being clean and then sitting down to relax and let my body relax and watch TV, that is a big step in my process that starts early in the morning, preparing myself for bed. As crazy as that sounds, you guys will see what I mean in my bedtime video when that comes out. But right now we're talking about cleaning. So somebody asked, do I have a set schedule? I do not. In a way I do. What I try to do is what I call my deep cleanings on Fridays, which means that's when I'm vacuuming, sweeping, mopping, although I don't sweep. You guys that have been watching me for a while know I use a shop vac. And if you're like, what do you mean you use a shop vac? Or shop vac has a long tube and then all these things that connect to it. And I kind of use it on the floor. Like, I don't know. It's got a wide base connection thing. Oh, I'm just the worst at these videos and describing things, but I use it and I push it around the floor, and it sucks up all the dog fur without like it flying in the air like it does when I sweep. And you can use a Swiffer, that's fine, but I personally feel like there's still stuff on the floor when I use my Swiffer. I like my shop vac. It's really strong. It sucks everything up, and I just push it around the floor like you would a regular vacuum. I don't know if this is making any sense, but I don't sweep. That's what I do instead on my hard floors, and then I vacuum the floors. So basically I do that all on Fridays, that kind of stuff, that heavy floor cleaning. I think floor cleaning is pretty much all I do on Fridays. Sometimes if I've had a bad week, then I throw everything into a Friday, meaning like cleaning the toilets and all that. But what I really like to do is my big cleaning, and to me big cleaning is floors, because that is something that is the most hardest, because I have to clean the floors, I have to clean the stairs, It's 2 stories, and then mopping is a big thing. So how I like to prepare for that is Thursdays, I will clean up the house if there's stuff that needs to be picked up. And then I'll do the little things, like we have 3 bathrooms, but there's only 2 of us. So really it's not a lot of heavy cleaning. I'll wipe down the counters, and I do that throughout the week, like randomly as needed. I'll wipe counters down with cleaners. I'll, you know, swish the toilet bowl around. I should really be doing that every day, and I'm going to try to work into doing that. I read this thing on Pinterest the other day that was like things 1950s housewives did, and I'm like, man, I'm slacking. Everyone thinks I'm super anal, and everyone's always like, you'd be the perfect 1950s housewife. But I'm like, no, I wouldn't. Oh my gosh, I can't live up to those standards, but I want to try, because those women were like epic. They like cleaned their bathrooms every day. I mean, like wiped everything down, swished the toilet, cleaned the counters, even mopped the floor. And I was so impressed when I read that that's kind of like goals, like hashtag goals. Yeah, that's kind of something I want to try to do. But for right now, kind of throughout the week, it's just a mismatch of what I feel like doing. But by Thursday, and usually Thursday, I'll do it again. If I did it like Monday, I will clean the toilets. I will dust off the stuff, because that doesn't take me long. Like I'm dusting stuff, cleaning the toilets, picking up the house so it's ready for the floors. I clean all the counters off, so anything like on them gets knocked on the floor. Like I won't like knock big crumbs on the floor, that's gross, but like if there's stuff that gets knocked on the floor, it's not a big deal, because Friday I'm going to come through and clean the floor. So honestly, that is how I keep my house clean. And again, still what I used to do at night, I do now in the mornings. My biggest tip too is if you're cleaning, clean at the time of day you feel your best. For me, it's when I wake up, I eat something, and that's usually the best you're going to get from me all day long. As the afternoon goes on, my fibro wears on me, my pain wears on me, and it's not as easy to do stuff. And during the afternoons, I take big breaks so that I can get dinner ready at night and have that ready. So do things slowly. Do them as needed. That's best for you. Have a day that you have goals for the whole house to be clean. For me, that's Friday. Like I said, if I'm not feeling good Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then Thursday I will do all the picking up and the countertops and stuff like that. Friday I'll do the floors. And some days I've even thrown everything into a Friday, just because I want my husband to come home on the weekend and feel like the house is clean, it's nice, his laundry's done. Another thing, laundry I try to do on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, but never on Thursdays or Fridays, because those are, again, my cleaning days. And it's just kind of like give and take. I listen to my body and what's good for it and what's not. Sometimes if I really don't feel good on a Friday, the super cleaning doesn't get done, meaning the floors, and that will get done like a Monday or even like a Sunday. I just work around my body when I feel energy. But if you guys are working, I would say take time at night to pick up and do the little things, dishes like that and stuff like that. So yes, you may not get to doing like a deep cleaning of your house, but at least you will kind of feel like it's picked up and cleaned. Now that I don't work, like I was saying, I do that stuff in the morning. So when my husband comes home, he has dinner, we spend time together, and I can worry about that stuff once he's off to work the next morning. But it just depends on your schedule, if you work or not. I'm lucky enough not to work. When I did work, my actual cleaning, like cleaning floors and stuff like that, honestly happened about once a month. As gross as that sounds, I also only had a very small Chihuahua and a rabbit at that time, so fur and mud and all that stuff wasn't an issue like it is now that we have our 2 bigger dogs. So really, it's just whatever works for you. This is what works for me. It's not going to work for everyone. I think some people see my videos because I do daily vlogs. That's another thing. When you do daily vlogs, besides the fact that I'm super crazy about clutter, I almost have to pick up every day, because every day I'm letting hundreds of people into my home. You know what I mean? So it almost like makes me stay on it. But really, honestly, I don't have a set schedule. Somebody asked if I have a maid or a house cleaner. No, I've always kind of like wanted one to come in during spring cleaning time and do some things that I just don't like. I get too fatigued to like sit there every single window in our house, and we have a lot of windows, has wood blinds, or at least they're fake wood, I don't know, but these, and I really should clean those, but I want them to all be done in like one day, and I don't have the energy or the pain like tolerance to do all of them in one day. So I've always kind of wanted to like hire somebody to come in and do things like that, but we just don't really have like the extra money to spend to do that. So I kind of do one room at a time when I feel like it doesn't really get done as much as it should, though, to be quite honest. It's just, so yeah, I mean, we don't have a maid, and I don't think I could, unless I was super busy, I don't think I could hire somebody to come in and clean the house unless they cleaned it in the way I like. And I know that sounds so weird, but even like when my husband tries to help me like actually clean, I'm just like, no. Just help me pick it up and let me do the cleaning. Because I'm super crazy and super OCD about exactly how I want my house clean. And if somebody else cleans it, well, I know my husband is cleaning it and doing a good job. It is not what I consider clean. I don't know if that makes sense. My mom was that way. We had a housekeeper. We would go through housekeepers because she worked, and we would always, a big thing too, I never understood as a kid that I understand as an adult, is she would be like, you have to clean up the house before the housekeeper comes. Because she's not the kind of like maid that you throw your socks everywhere and she picks it up. She's here to deep clean the house, and it needs to be picked up and running. I get that now. That's what I do on Thursdays before my deep cleaning on Fridays, which I never understood as a kid. Why are we cleaning if we have a maid? But yeah, I don't think I could have a maid because I am so super anal now. When the day comes that I'm finally pregnant, then, you know, I never know, like, I don't know how my fibro is going to act. If my fibro doesn't react badly to the pregnancy, then I don't think I'll need one. But if I do, then that might be something we have to get. But I am super crazy about my cleaning, and I don't like anyone else doing it. Poor Justin tries to help me and like clean, and I'm right behind him redoing it my way. So I don't have a housekeeper. I think that I would clean up after the housekeeper. It took my mom probably like 7 years to find a house cleaner, a keeper that did the house exactly like she did. I just don't have time for all that. So really, just all I can tell you guys is do things around your body. Do them at the time of day that your body's best. Like I said, mine's morning. I can get more stuff done in the morning, and then I take my afternoon break. Have a day that you have a goal set to have your whole house cleaned by. That helps me a lot to tell in my mind, like, okay, Friday, I want everything done. I want the floors clean. I want that just clean smell in the house. And just listen to your body. Really, that's all the tips I can give you guys. And I hope that helps. If you have any more questions about how I specifically do certain things, I'd be happy to answer them. And I will get to your other videos you guys have requested soon. I promise you, and I'll see you later. Bye.